To the story now, the former Finance Minister Tito Mboweni will be laid to rest on Saturday. The funeral service will be held at the Nkowankowa Stadium in Tzaneen and is open to the public. The ANC in the region will remember Mboweni in a memorial service later this afternoon. President Cyril Ramaphosa has declared a special official funeral category 2 in honor of Mboweni. Let's take you now to our reporter, Katlego Nyoni, who's live for us there. So Katlego, what is the latest? What is happening? I see preparations are already underway.
Hi there, Mkalisi, and of course to our viewers as well. As you pointed out in your introduction, the ANC Norman Mashabane sub-region is today going to hold a memorial service in honor of the late Finance Minister as well as the former South African Reserve Bank Governor Tito Mboweni. We are now at Nkowankowa Stadium, but that memorial service is going to take place at the Nkowankowa Community Hall. We understand that here at Nkowankowa Stadium is going to be a service, rather a funeral service, that will be open to members of the public. We know that President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the main eulogy there on Saturday. But to get more details and clarity about today's program of the memorial service, I'm joined by the ANC regional spokesperson in the Norman Mashabane region, that's Peter Ngobeni. Peter, thank you very much for your time. Talk to us about today's program. We know that that memorial service will kickstart at 4 p.m.
No, indeed. Today, the African National Congress in Norman Mashabane region took a decision to organize a memorial service just to accord the people of this region an opportunity to celebrate and, of course, to hear from different speakers who knew Governor Tito Mboweni. The memorial service will be held at 4 o'clock in Nkowankowa Community Hall.
Talk to us about some of the speakers then that are going to take onto the podium in remembrance of Tito Mboweni.
So we'll be having the National Executive Committee. I think the National Office will be sending David Mahlobo to speak on behalf of the National Executive Committee in order to take us or go to town in terms of the life and times of Governor Mboweni. And I think for the people of Norman Mashabane, it's an opportunity really in order to know and understand the type of a leader Tito was. Of course, some of us are able to know that here you're talking about an extraordinary human being who was able to be part of the generation that constructed and developed the new South Africa since the advent of democracy. And even up to his departure, was very involved in various levels to ensure that he continues to serve the people of this country.
And of course, Mr. Mboweni, Peter Hales grew up in this area, this broad area. Earlier on, I was at a school named after Tito Mboweni at Maribeni Village. Do you know anything about as to why that particular name, the community at Maribeni, is quite saddened by the loss of Mr. Mboweni?
No, I think the untimely and of course the sudden departure of Governor Tito from the solid earth were quite saddened. And of course, everyone who knew him, especially from the areas you mentioned, including Sasekani, Bodox, and everywhere else in the region. Because here we're talking about a human being who has done so much for this country, but who remained very, very humble. You know about his interesting cooking, his ingredients, but he was an extraordinary human being whose contribution is quite unmatched. You would know that when we took over government in 1994, he was able to contribute in terms of dealing with the mechanisms in terms of labor disputes, but also important, he was able to make sure that the fiscal, or what do you call, if you like, the price stability, he was able to play a meaningful role at that level. But at the end, he was a man of the people, very humble, very humane, very down to earth.
Very briefly, do you expect to start on time today for the memorial service?
So that we are able to have ample time to celebrate this life, indeed we'll be starting very much on time.
Peter, thank you kindly for your time on the SABC News Channel. That's the ANC Nomen Mashabane spokesperson there, Peter Mboweni, explaining that their memorial service, of course, will kickstart at 4 p.m. at the Nkowankowa Community Hall, speaking to some of the economic policy achievements attained by Mr. Mboweni during his lifetime.